recessive trait. Now, listen, what does the capital N represent? Dominant. Dominant, dominant. Now, this one's easy because they got normal blood from mom, normal blood from dad. So we know they're going to have normal blood. This one got hemophilia from mom, hemophilia from dad. We know they're going to have hemophilia. This is the one that is confusing. They got a hemophilia gene from one parent and a normal blood gene from the other parent. So how do we know what they're going to show? Dominant wins, right? So we call this a carrier. Now, why would we call that a carrier? Any ideas? What do you think?
Because if, like, another parent has, like, if that person who has that and another parent has a recessive gene, they might be able to pair up with the other recessive gene because they're recessive.
You're exactly right. Let me show you a simplified example of what we're talking about here. So let's say that you get an allele from dad for brown eyes. It's dominant. And you get an allele from mom for brown eyes, and that's dominant. You are going to have a genotype of capital B, capital B. That's your genotype. Your phenotype is brown eyes. You'll have brown eyes. That one kind of makes sense, right? If your mom passes down brown eyes, your dad passes down brown eyes, you're going to get brown eyes. Now, if your mom gives you a recessive allele for blue eyes, and your dad gives you a recessive allele for blue eyes, your genotype is little b, and your phenotype is blue eyes. So that one's pretty obvious too. But then it gets kind of tricky. What if your mom gives you a dominant allele for brown eyes, and your dad gives you a recessive allele for blue eyes? What color are your eyes going to be? Brown. Brown. The brown covers up or overpowers the blue, but this person is a carrier. So then what can happen in the next generation is, this is what happened in Colton's family. Right, Colton? So both parents have brown eyes. Whoops. Those aren't peeking out, are they? Okay. Both parents have brown eyes. And it's really just a coin toss whether this parent gives this allele to their child or this allele. It's just a coin toss. They can give this one or this one. But let's say that these two parents have a child and they both give that sneaky little hidden gene to their child. Then you end up with two brown-eyed parents that have a blue-eyed child. Okay? So this is better. Isn't it nice that we have this and we're not just guessing how kids got their traits? Like, oh, well, maybe you looked at a picture of a dark